Today we're going to get back to work on the most derelict Skyline ever, which is sitting back at Josh's place. But before that, we're going on a slight detour. Essentially, Josh and I got invited by a friend of ours to this Corvette event. We weren't really given any specifics, but we were going to go down there and film for a different project. So we had some ideas, and supposedly we were going to get to jump in some of the latest Corvette C8s on the track or something. We didn't really know, but we thought, hey, it should be good.
I just saw a Corvette. Look at all these beamers. Oh my goodness. You can tell we're here by the amount of beamers. We just heard some of them going around and they sound absolutely insane. Like, look at them. There's both of them. We're wondering if we can get out on the track or not. It's pretty unlikely, but we're gonna see if we can't pull some strings and ask if we can actually get out there. You can tell these are some wealthy people.
We got the Beamer. I think it's an M4 over there. Now the main reason we were actually here was to do some commercial style filming of the cars, so some more cinematic stuff for another whole sort of project, which may or may not be happening. Either way, we got the chance to get around some of the cars. These were the latest C8 Corvettes. I think they were 2024 or 2025 models or preview models. I think there was a Z06 going around the track at some point with 670 horsepower. So that was pretty crazy, but we didn't get to go on that. We're here.
We're here. I actually don't mind them. Like, for what it is, it's actually a really good car.
We're just filming some stuff now with some other guys that came along, so we'll go driving some more, potentially get some rolling shots, so yeah. This is how we get the rolling shots. Oh, you will jump. Whoa. Drifting.
We hung out with a few other videographers and some drivers. While filming, I got to jump into one of the cars. I think it was one of the base model C8s and go around the skid pan. Unfortunately, I couldn't get any real footage inside the car, but I got some cool cinematics. So after jumping in the car and going around the skid pan, which is pretty epic, before long, we had to leave.
I mean, I just went in this, it was pretty epic. Did some drifting, it's so fast. I'm surprised we made it this far, but...
Yeah, they literally said there's far too many of us coming here to film.
So it turns out there was a bunch of confusion over why a whole bunch of us were out there like filming stuff. It's supposed to be like a sales day or something. So all these like wealthy looking people were just sitting back and just watching us film cool stuff. So that was that.
Let's go! Run! Hungry Jack. Next, Josh.
Oh.
Gonna start it up, mate.
Yeah, thing's not starting because we don't have any fuel in it.
Classic amateur mistake.
Alright, well, we're back. About time. Been like 3 weeks since we've been here. We don't actually know what we're gonna do today. We were gonna sand it, but I don't know if Dad actually wants to sand it today. We got a list. This is the list of the things we gotta do. First, we're gonna find the electrical fault. We know it's the stopper. In here, you got the new wire that's connecting to the battery, so it's not a pain to do and undo. Spark plugs, which we're attempting to do right now. And this will just get longer and longer and longer, because even when we finish this thing, it will not stop. There's no like error lights or anything.
Yeah, is the boost gauge working?
Now back with the Skyline, a number of things have changed since our first video on this car. For context, this is a project car which I linked Josh up with a couple of weeks ago. and he ended up purchasing it for very cheap. The car was basically derelict. When we found it, it had been sitting outside for 5 years, but over the past couple of weeks, a lot of the stuff has been repaired. A few new things have changed in the car since we filmed it last time. So the radiator is back in. We got new bushings. Josh and his dad repainted these like little bracket things. Got new hoses. What else? Is it just this one, or did you do the ones down?
No, there's one down. This one here. That one there.
Intercooler is bolted back on. If you remember last time, it was just like hanging down by the charge pipes. This is the intercooler literally hanging down from just the two pipes. That was like, it was literally just hanging down by the pipe, so it's bolted back onto the body. So last time there was dirt and rust, like dirt made out of rust essentially, like all through the coolant system, so they flushed it out and it should be good now, I guess. Fuel filter, new oil filter, yeah, the basic stuff. What else have you done?
Gave a little go at sanding down the
It's all smooth.
yeah, it's actually very smooth. It turned out pretty well. Still a bit oxidized. You need to go a fair way into it. A bit there. You can still see the marks though, where this guy's like dug into it with the nails.
I don't know what he did here. I think his idea was to try and get the paint off, but then like the metal
you
piece
can see
on.
the like little marks. Still quite rusted, but it's turned out pretty well actually. But yeah, so that's promising. We'll see how that goes. That will need to be absolutely destroyed. Like, look at that coming off of my hand. Obviously here, we'll need to do this whole thing. Probably down, like there's some rust here. We may even like back on the, like, may have to take all this off. We may just have to do a majority of the thing, except like even that's really bad. A bit there as well, so I don't even know if we'll have to do the whole thing or not, because a lot of it is really not good.
And are we painting it here, like in this garage?
Yeah, we'd like to get it done because we're not very professional. We might try to do it ourselves just because it'll be a little bit easier. But that'll be that'll be cringe. So, oh yeah, also Jake had broke this off.
Yeah, I just grabbed
We
it
all
and I was
work
like,
normal jobs, so the car stuff only really is about a day or so per week to work on it for a few hours, but we've realized it's coming along a lot quicker than we thought for a number of reasons. In the short term, the engine actually was still working. A lot of the components still work, they're just not in the best condition.
We actually realized that you could probably see down there a bunch of transmission fluid. We didn't actually put the hose on properly, so it's just leaked everywhere. Yeah, it's just like twisting on the thing. Them facing towards where you can actually do them up, because do it up a little bit. It's working for all you Star Wars fans.
Oh yeah. So we'll set that at just over.
We think that the reason the brake lights keep coming on, the brakes are kind of like pushing into the sensor or whatever. We reckon if we just plug this in temporarily, see if it works. If not, yikes, we're screwed. I can't even see anything. There's a few holes.
Can you see the brake switch?
Brake switch.
this has got to fit in somehow at the top of the brake pedal arm. I don't know how that's supposed to work because I can't even get my actual arm in there. That's a photo of what we're trying to get.
I just knocked the flipping battery out. It's not going well. The brake isn't even moving, so we can't even like put it in. Spark plug time. We got new spark plugs. You can see this one is like whittled down heaps. This thing has been running so hot. It's like burned everywhere. It's rubbing off on my finger heaps. So we might try and put those in today, get new spark plugs in it, which will be fun. But yeah, that's pretty wild that it's just like absolutely decimated the electrode.
Coming from working on BMWs, I was surprised how easy working on certain things was with this, but at the same time, some of the other stuff was just sort of strange. And yes, I've actually never had so much trouble changing spark plugs. With the intake, the PCV valve, this like oil catch can ventilation valve or whatever, and the engine harness all had to come off.
Alright, so Jatch is trying to undo this bolt
It's a really crazy design. It's right below like this recirc valve, like outlet thing. So we think what you have to do is take off, you might actually have to take off this pipe which goes into the intake manifold.
But we're lazy.
That's it.
We got it.
Last one. Oh. We had to basically take off half of the engine. The inlet, there was a few other pipes on there which I think was just for different solenoids, and then the PCV valve is still on there. Oh, your camera died. Well, this one's living. It's entertaining because I'm like, what is? I've like never seen a car with so much water in there.
I watched the last one.
Oh, you watched the last one?
Yeah.
The charisma was off the charts, right? There's what looks like water mixed with oil, just all through the top of the... Underneath the ignition coils, we pulled them out, and there was like water underneath each of them. So we don't really know what happened there. Josh is currently trying to get off the last of the ignition coils. It's, I don't say it lightly, but it's just like disgusting.
We're trying, but it doesn't seem to be working.
This is the manual way of doing it.
That's wild.
Yes, Josh.
That's so gross. Who wants to take turns?
But there is a possibility that the valve cover gasket is damaged around those areas. You know, I guess we'll just wait and find out the hard way.
That is actually rank. Crap. Oh, it's not okay.
This disgusting project car. New turbo.
Yeah. That's what was in this.
Spark plugs are out. That was probably the most disgusting spark plug change I've ever done. These are like covered in water and stuff from all of the like slop that was down in that. And yeah, look at that. That is what like in, so. Now some of it's like in the engine.
Now, the long-term plan with this is Josh wants to get this build back up to like stock standard, and then from there he might be building it out. We're not sure yet. Once it's running, we'll probably do work on my N54, get that going, and we're probably just going to keep doing these, following those builds. So we don't know what's going to happen, but it should be good, and this channel is probably where we'll just upload everything.
So next plan is to sand down.
So this is what the car looks like at the moment. It is basically all either rusted along the top or on the side. It's got like this, the paint's just like coming off either way. Josh's dad already started sanding some of this down to test it, and it's like all shiny, it looks good, which is a good sign because none of us are sure how bad the rust was like along the top if it was like done. The battery was just being drained because all the lights on the back would come on, like brake lights, boot light and all of that. Josh found the problem, which was a rubber thing on the brake.
They put a new brake pedal in. That was the problem that was causing
yeah, like weighing it down or something.
Yeah.
It's just, look, this is why it was the cheapest working Skyline in Australia. Only time will tell.
As I might have mentioned, we are getting kicked out of this garage as well, so it's gonna have to hit the road somehow. So the next few weeks should be interesting. From the looks of it, we're already doing some pretty interesting things to try and get this thing fixed up.